our mutual friends, Crazy Bone. Shout out Crazy Bone.
That okay.
He had brought it up, but I also known from reading and different things about the role you had in helping connect Bone with Easy.
Yeah.
So with that, um, set the scene and hearing them rap, but what was it about what they were doing that made you want to tell Easy like, yo, you need to listen to these dudes?
Bro, like so when we let them come backstage to rap for us, it was Flesh and Bone, it was Lazy Bone, and it was Busy. We didn't know Crazy and Wish.
And this is in Cleveland, right?
This is in Cleveland. Yeah, while we doing a big concert. So Easy was always headliner. So we the last people coming off stage. So we coming off these. It was a lot of people. It wasn't just them. All these people. Can we come back? We want to rap for you and all that. So I'm at the end of the line. It was either me or Drayster. I can't remember which one who actually grabbed them and like let them in. But once they did come, bro, and all we got through all the other people, these three dudes get right there, man. And we the same age. We all got along. I'm a little light skinned dude. So I saw myself in them, first of all, when I first seen them. Pretty much similarly dressed the same, whatever. They get back there, bro, and they was rapping that shit and they was singing and harmonizing, bro, and I was just blown away. I never seen nobody do it like that. I seen ciphers. I've been in ciphers my whole life. I never seen three dudes just so locked in, you know what I'm saying, and singing and rapping at the same time. And I was just like, yo. And I'm looking at Easy. I'm like, dude, because we didn't heard millions and millions of people throughout this tour. Nobody impressed me this way like these dudes did. So I'm like, I asked them, I say, bro, y'all got, and I'm acting like I'm easy, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, what y'all got to do? Y'all go to school, y'all got jobs. They like, nah. I say, bring them with us, bro. Like, just grab them now. Because meeting all these people, you're going to forget, you know what I'm saying? And Easy, he would bullshit a lot of people. Like, yeah, call me. He's not going to answer the damn phone. So I'm like, dude, grab these dudes. So anyway, fast forward, we back in LA. Now, every time I get around Eric, I'll be like, E, what's up with them little kids from Cleveland, man? Where they, you know what I'm saying? You ain't heard from them? Like, nah. Like, man, you stupid, man. I told you to fucking get them, bro. So, boom. Probably about 7, 8 months passed. I asked him again. I said, what's up with them kids from Cleveland? They ever call? He said, you know what? They're here. What do you mean they here? I got them in a hotel somewhere. Boom, boom. I'm like, where at? Send me the address. Send me the address. I pull up and we never separate since, you know what I'm saying? The only time I ever separated from them was when I went to prison, but came back and we just locked in the same way. Yep.
That's that's amazing, man. That's amazing. And
Yeah.
speaking of stuff with Easy, with the D.P.G song that you guys did, I remember
Mm-hmm.
reading back in the day that Easy was supposed to be on there, but that's when you kind of realized or noticed that he was getting sick. So,
Yeah.
so
You know,
what was that experience like? Kind of hounding him to get on the song, but then realizing why he didn't get on the song.
so bam, we in the studio, bro. So, back then, you have your deadline to turn your album in so they can send it, and have it pressed up and all this shit. So it was the last day. We didn't have no more opportunity. Like if we don't get the song done today, it's not gonna make the album. So boom, Easy already knew that prior to. So he had like a week in advance notice. And just so happened the day that we actually go into the studio, the night before he had a bronchitis episode. You know what I'm saying? So he had to go into the hospital. Boom. We calling. We find out, oh damn, he was in the hospital overnight. Okay. He was like, but don't even trip. I'm still coming. I'm coming straight from the hospital to the studio. Okay, so bam. So the guy, damn, what was his name? Donovan Smith. Donovan the Dirt Biker Smith.
Dirt biker, yep.
Audio Achievement Studios. He was mastering our album. So we sitting in there. The record is up. It's playing over and over. Me and my brother already did our verses like a while ago. It's just going over and over and over. I'm smoking on my weed, and he finally pop in. So the studio. He had one main studio. They built another one in the back. So we mainly in the back, and then they have the whole lobby in the front. I'm not knowing he's there. He's been there for like 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because I got tired of walking in and out, so I just was sitting inside. I came out, and not only him, H.W.A. You remember them? The hoes with
Oh,
attitude.
with attitude, yep.
Them and some other people. They sitting in the lobby. One of them got Easy hemmed up, so I go hit him like, "Hey, bro, come on! I've been here for like 4 hours, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? The time is getting dark and shit. I'm like, dude, come on. You know what I mean? He like, all right, give me 1 minute. So I'm like, all right, man. I give him about 15 minutes. I go back. Hey, dude, Come on, bro. Come do this shit. All right, man. I'll be in there. I'll be in there. Give me about 10 more minutes. By the time I come back, nobody's in there but him. He's sitting on the floor, back against the wall, and he's wheezing hella crazy. So I get down next to him, like, what's happening, man? What's going on? He's like, I don't know, man. This fucking bronchitis fucking me up. So on the way from him coming from the hospital, he hit the pharmacy on the way. So he had a pharmacy bag. So he opened it up, had this big ass inhaler up in there. He pulled it out and was hitting it. And then he was able to talk a little bit more. And then Donovan came and sat on the other side of him. And he also had a big ass vanilla envelope with all this shit that I guess him and Jerry Heller been going back and forth about documentation, money, and whatever. So him and Donovan talking about that shit, and I'm just sitting there listening. I don't really know none of that language, you know what I mean? But it was whatever. They was going back and forth, and then once he started sweating and shit for me, trying to breathe and couldn't really talk. And then when I seen the sweat coming down, I said, hell no, I get up. I go get the bodyguards inside the lobby, like, dude, like, y'all gotta come grab him. So they came in and they just picked him up by both his arms and took him, and then they went to the hospital. But yeah, I mean, if he would have just came in, bro, he only had 8 bars to do, bro. That's all he had. If he would have just came and did it, we would have had that. We'd have had the last Eazy-E verse ever, and
Mm,
that album probably would have went double platinum, triple. Who knows? You know what I mean? But it was just an opportunity, but it just wasn't meant to be. You know what I mean?
yeah. Now with that, with and that was on the. It's at the end of the Real Brothers album.
Yeah, that was
What?
the D.P.G one. Yeah,
Yeah. So that being said, making Real Brothers and even getting him, like how did it work out to where you're not on Ruthless, but he's cool, still okay to record with you guys?
because we initially, like, we were on Ruthless. This is what I'm saying. We were on Ruthless. We're original Ruthless artists, right? Through a subsidiary, but still Ruthless. He always wanted us. Like, he really, Easy was like, he didn't really want to step on his friend's toes because he could have signed us directly. He know the game. He could have did some janky shit and got us directly. And so what he was actually even doing with Outburst, he was getting us back from them anyway.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? All this shit was going on without us really knowing about it. Because you got to think, outside of cocaine, above the law, Shaky, Dirty Red, and then Menage-a-Trois and all these people, they didn't have a lot of records with E that were really popular. We was the more popular artists with him. So anytime he went on tour, we had to go with him anyway. You
Mm.
understand what I'm saying? We was his backup. You know what I'm saying? We the person that's helping him on stage with all his music. I know all of his music, like I said, like probably like nobody else. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So he was like, he was working, he was negotiating, getting us back on Ruthless anyhow. You know what I mean? So that was going on at the time as well.
Okay. And
Yeah.
with the album itself, when it ended up coming out, Outburst had huge success with Domino.
Yeah.
Um, so did you guys feel like or notice that because of the success of Domino, things were easier for you, or was it harder because Easy had passed? Like, how did that work from a business standpoint?
Well, the only discrepancy that came in, like they had a great machine there because they had Def Jam backing them anyway. So we went and met Leo Cohen, we went and sat with Russell Simmons, and they gave us their full support. So that part wasn't the issue. The issue was when the single came out. So I ended up having a case that was hanging over my head from 2 years prior to us even going over there, and so I was due to go to prison. You know what I'm saying, for 2 years for a drug case or whatever. And we ended up, like I said, doing the records, mix mastering, and then now that it's getting time for me to go for sentencing, we shot like 5 videos in one weekend. You know what I mean? So
Wow.
bam, we shoot the videos, boom. They getting the single ready, and then when the single comes out, we got this one video. D.P.G is number one on the Box channel. Remember the Music Box television? We like number one for like 2-3 months straight or something like this. So we excited. We like, damn, this is how real G's. It was like real motherfucking G's all over again. It was that same momentum. Now when the single comes out, we so excited. A lot of artists back in those days when they album come out, they want to go to the record store and see it posted. Like, I want to go see my shit up in there, the posters and shit. So we go to the record store, bro, and we like, what the like just walking in, we see it like, what? It's 50-50 love. You know what I'm saying? All the posters say 50-50. That's not the single. The single is D.P.G.
Right.
So this is already like something. I'm like, yo, what the fuck going on? Go over there, grab the single. The single with the video is on the B side.
Mm.
You understand what I'm saying? So we like what the fuck type of shit is this? We naturally go to the record label. It was so accessible. It was on 76 and Crenshaw. Pull right up to the label, walk inside with it like, man, what the fuck is going on? Oh man, they made a mistake. I didn't know how to handle that shit, bro. I kind of lost it. You know what I'm saying? I regret it to this day, but I pulled my gun out, bro, and I had tears coming out my eyes, and I made them sign me out the contract, like right there on the spot.
Wow.
That's what happened. So that's kind of what happened with all of that. You know what I'm saying? And I regret it to this day because I should have handled it way better. But to me, it felt like somebody was sabotaging us. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Like purposely, because how can you press all these records up with that mistake? Like you didn't see the first copy and was like, "Hey, this is wrong." You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like 100,000 of these things. Like, dude, yeah. So that's what happened with that.